So, I'm Shirley. If you haven't heard of me or don't know me, I have the salon Bearsden Beauty on Switchback Road. And I am absolutely obsessed with skin. So you can hang out with me, guys, for the next wee hour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through my basic and most effective skincare tips. And we're going to do a little practical session on how we're going to be doing our cleansing, because that is absolutely key. And then at the end, I thought I would kind of open it up for lots of questions, and we can see if anybody's got anything that they're desperately needing to know. So, to start with, I don't know, I love a bit of science, so I kind of thought I'd tell you why I'm obsessed with doing the skin thing. So obviously, our lovely bodies, we are designed in a way that our skin is incredible. It's got so many functions. It's obviously great for protection, waterproofing. It's a great shell, but the main function that I'm interested in is actually it's in a massive excretory organ. It's our largest organ. So whatever you drink in terms of water, it is the last organ to get anything. Your liver, kidney, lungs, heart, you name it, everything else needs a certain amount of water, and whatever you've got left over is what your skin gets. So that is why I'm always banging on about everybody drinking loads of water, and I'm going to continue saying that. So lots and lots of water, and you know your main functions now, but if your skin, if your other organs can't excrete or can't get rid of any toxins, it sits in your skin and your skin tries to shift it. So if you suffer from acne, or you've got maybe a bit of psoriasis or eczema or rosacea, lots of different skin issues, actually they are there because your body is trying to shift something out and it's really struggling. So that's why we always sort of call it like the window to your internal health. So if you do have an issue, I am a big fan of, and I know this is going to sound ridiculous, I love a food diary. So it's not everyone's cup of tea, but if you have a major skin issue like your psoriasis or acne or something that you're like, this isn't just anti-aging, Shirley, I need some fix, then what to do is either write up a little food diary for a couple of weeks, or my younger techie or my techie crowd, take photos of everything you're eating. And it means then you can kind of get an idea if it is something that is like a pattern of like, oh, I eat a lot of bread, or I eat a lot of dairy or something, then we can actually work out what is causing this skin issue, or if maybe you're missing something. So sometimes it's you need to remove something from your diet, and other times you kind of need to throw it in. So food diary is a really good place to start. It gives you an idea of patterns. I had really bad psoriasis around my head and under my at the nape of my neck. And I did a food diary, this was years ago, and it turned out, and I didn't even really think about it, I was having like breakfast cereal, I was having like sandwiches, and then I was having like a bowl of pasta at night. And see, once I didn't eliminate it, but I massively reduced it in terms of the gluten or the wheat or whatever you want to call it. And actually the difference has been phenomenal. And I shave my head. I could actually look at my scalp now, which is always good. It's always good fun. So try that first before we start just lathering on loads of products to try and calm something down when maybe it's coming from inside. Now, the other thing that I'm always asked is fizzy juice. I have a bit of a thing about fizzy juice because the diet stuff has got so many chemicals in it that our body doesn't really recognise any of the ingredients. So when your body's trying to shift it, it doesn't really know how to do it. So if you're going to drink fizzy juice, crack on, but drink full fat. That is the best way. Your body knows what sugar is, it recognises it, and it's able to actually eliminate it. So if you're going to drink loads of fizzy juice, crack on, just drink the full fat stuff, okay? Right. Next thing that everybody's always asking me questions about, supplements. I know some people are not a fan of supplements. I know some people want to sort of say you shouldn't need them because your diet should be so good. But I'm a massive fan of a supplement. I think with our busy lives, I know we're not busy as much now, but with our busy lives, I don't think we're ever getting maybe the right things. So, or we're not getting the right balance. So I'm a big fan of using an organic, powdered, loose supplement that I just put in my smoothies. I take one that actually has 48 vitamins and minerals in it, so I'm getting everything I need, but it's also got pre and probiotics in it. Pre and probiotics are incredible at feeding your gut microbes, and your gut microbes love proper nutrients, but also if they're happy, your skin's happy. So it means that any skin issues are fixed internally. It's back to this internal. So yes, facials are amazing, skincare is amazing, but if we can tweak some of these things first, it means then when we actually go to do the products and the treatments, they work so much better. So pre and probiotics, crack on with that. If you can get organic ones, even better. And then, what was I going to say? If you can get something, someone's asking me a wee question, I'm just going to click on that and just double check. What's the supplement called? It's actually called Super Elixir. It's pretty expensive. You don't need to get something as expensive as Super Elixir. Go online and have a look at it. But it's got absolutely everything in there. You wouldn't need to take any other supplement. The other good thing is that it's alkalizing. Now that sounds ridiculous, but if you do suffer from acne, or do you know when you get that sort of red, angry, inflamed skin? That's because inside's inflamed, and usually that is due to too high acidity. So what we want to do is we almost want to sort of calm and neutralize the acidity. Now, unfortunately, the acidity is, it's all the fun stuff. It's alcohol, it's sugar, it's dairy, it's meat. All the fun stuff makes us internally acidic, which then it comes through our skin. So all the sort of not so fun stuff like your fruit, your veg, your lentils, beans, pulses, seeds, nuts, grains, all that kind of stuff, that is actually alkalizing and calms your skin down. So loads and loads of really good, boring things. But actually, yes, I am vegan. And there's a reason, because I'm obsessed with skin. It started off with a skin obsession and it went on to going, oh my word, the dairy and all this kind of stuff was causing so many of my clients really inflamed acne and they couldn't shift it. And I was doing loads of fabulous treatments and then realizing that actually this had to be a bit of a combined effort. So some of the girls came off dairy or even just reduced it. I'm not even saying to people go vegan, because see, to be honest, it's not everyone's cup of tea. But if you can reduce the dairy or reduce the meat, then your skin doesn't need to eliminate it as much. We're not putting as much pressure on it. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you can do that, then we are absolutely laughing. So even if you're not eliminating, just reduce the stuff that you see in your food diary is going, oh my God, I didn't realize how many Haribo I ate or something, because there's always going to be something that we just go, ooh, that's my favorite. So yeah, sugar, dairy, all the fun stuff, is the things that tend to make our skin quite inflamed. So that's the sort of internal chat. It's a bit boring, it's a bit sciencey, but actually if we can do a bit internally and start guzzling loads of water and take a couple of really good supplements, then actually when you go to do the skincare, you're going to see really, really good, pretty quick results, because you're not going to be trying to eliminate the nonsense on the skin, and we're already starting from a better place, if that makes sense. Right, daily routines. I'm a fan of a routine. I am a routines girl, and it actually is proven to work. I don't need a fancy routine. People always think because you own a beauty salon, you must have a million beauty products. I don't. I use 4 products on a daily basis. So your main 4 things that I just cannot see past is a really good cleanser, right? That's dead easy, dead basic. A serum that is suitable for your skin issue. So when we use serums, a lot of people don't know why. The only reason you would use a serum is to fix a skin problem. So if it's winter and the central heating's on and you're like, Shirley, my skin is dry, it's dehydrated, it's really just bleh. Right, okay, so we need to have something that is really hydrating or really nourishing, or maybe your skin's just a bit dull. Now, that same lovely person, you go into the summer and then you're going, Shirley, do you know what? My skin problem is actually pigmentation. Or I've got a bit of rosacea. Or I just feel my skin is needing a bit of a pep up. So your skin issue will be different all through the year. You're never going to have the same skin issue in spring that you're going to have in December. So my key thing is always use the same cleanser and then buy a serum that you need at this moment in time. But when you finish the bottle of serum, don't replace it with the same serum, because by that point you might have been able to fix the problem, and also the temperature might have changed or the weather, and you might say, actually the pigmentation's okay now, right, I need some hydration. So serum is the one thing that you will not automatically repurchase the same thing. Always change that. Your third thing that you're going to purchase, which if you don't have it is an absolute must, is a mineral grade SPF 30. I don't care what age you are. I don't care what your skin type's like. You all need a mineral grade SPF 30 now. They should stop calling it a sun protection factor, because actually it's not that sunny in Scotland. Well, it has been. It's actually more like an environmental protection factor. So if you work in an office, strip lighting, computer screens, your iPhones, your iPads, your TV, the list goes on, the amount of damage that's caused premature aging isn't necessarily something that's internal. It can be really just from external factors, wind, rain, drop in temperature, getting in the car and it's really, really, you crank up the heat, it's really warm, and then you go outside, it's freezing cold because it's December. So everything about this, your skin is just being brutally attacked. So if you can have a mineral grade SPF 30, you don't really need higher than an SPF 30. The 50s don't really do that much. Even if you're lying on the beach, the 50 is not going to make a huge difference. So have your mineral grade SPF 30 and use it every single day, whether it's Christmas Day or you're lying on the beach and you're in Tenerife, I don't care. You need a little bubble of protection around this face to make sure you're not constantly breaking down collagen and elastin. So it doesn't sound exciting, but actually your mineral grade SPF 30 is going to be one of the most anti-aging products you're going to put on your skin. Your skin is going to love this. Mineral grade is not a chemical sunscreen. So a chemical sunscreen, your skin absorbs it, and then it has a chemical reaction under the skin. And usually they say, oh, if you go into the beach, you've got to leave it on for like 30 minutes and then you're protected. They don't actually know what the sort of long-term damaging effects of constantly having chemicals being absorbed into your skin. So if you have a mineral grade, it's essentially like zinc oxide, kind of like Sudocrem. So Sudocrem is zinc oxide. It looks really white, but they've improved these ones now. So it's actually going to reflect the light off your face. So it acts as a bubble, but it actually reflects any light from the skin. If your skin doesn't like SPFs, usually it's because it's a chemical, and it's usually because it's an SPF 50. SPF 50, if you're prone to prickly heat on holiday, and somebody said this to me recently, I get really bad prickly heat, Shirley, and I'm like, yeah, you do, because the chemicals in the sunscreen that you're using are so extreme that your skin's taking a reaction. It's nothing to do with the sun. It's not the sun and the sweat. It's to do with the fact that the chemicals are hitting your skin and your skin is trying to sweat and then it's causing it to flare up. So if you do suffer from really bad reactions, you need to get a mineral grade SPF. And there's loads of organic ranges like Dr. Hauschka, Image Skincare do a fantastic range of mineral grade SPFs. Lazero, you can Google it, there'll be tons. So that's a key thing. And then at night, so in the morning, what I would do is I would do my cleanser, serum on, and I put my SPF on. And then at night, I do my cleanser, I do my serum, and then I would put on a nighttime product if you're of a certain age. If you're in your 20s, don't do this. It's not worth it. Leave your skin to breathe and let your skin function. It's designed to do a function. It's meant to, what am I trying to say? It's meant to remember how to self-moisturize. If at 20 you start putting on loads of heavy moisturizers, your skin forgets how to produce oil and how to self-moisturize. And it means later on in life, you end up just spending a small fortune on even richer creams. I would really be tempted, if you're in your 20s or your early 30s, try not to put anything on after your serum or your cleanser if you can avoid it. As we get older, I hate saying that because it sounds so depressing, actually females' skin really gets drier and drier. The change of our hormones means that we have less oil being produced and our skins dry up. And if you're lucky enough to be a man, these blooming annoying men, their skin continues to produce oil. So the likes of George Clooney and all these guys where you think, man, their skin's looking better as they age. It's probably because it genuinely does. Their skin continues to produce lots of oil and moisturize. It's very upsetting. Don't get me started. So, basic routine, 4 items, really good cleanser, serum, an SPF 30, and then a nighttime treatment if you're of an age that you fancy that. Now, the nighttime treatment can be anything from an overnight mask. It could be a retinol product, which is really good for anti-aging and fine lines. I'll talk you through that later. Or it could be something like a really nice nighttime oil, like a jasmine oil, something really nourishing. And again, you can get lovely blends now. and actually your skin would really thank you. If you feel your skin needs oil and nourishment, and oil is just incredible. The brightening and the smoothing, it is fantastic. So highly recommend that. So now you know your 4 basic items. If you are using loads and loads of products and you're saying to me, Shirley, I use 20 different products and I use this eye makeup remover and I use a cleanser and I use this. Okay, fantastic. How do you know which ones work and which ones don't? So if there is something like, oh, I love my cleanser, I love the smell of it, I love using it, everything about it is just fantastic, keep using it. Half the fun of skincare is enjoying it and making a little fun ritual out of it. Oh, neck creams. Somebody just asked me about neck creams. Yeah. Neck creams is a funny one. I am not a fan of a neck cream or an eye cream because, if I'll be completely honest, I think it's a bit of an advertising marketing gimmick. I look at eye creams and I see eye creams all the time, and I don't really know what the difference is between this skin and this skin. To me, it's the same skin. I think they're almost wanting to give us the fear of, I need to buy another product. If you're using an eye cream and you say to me, I absolutely love this eye cream, Shirley, I'm never leaving it. Okay, stop using it for a couple of weeks. And if you notice a huge difference, crack back on with it and start using it again. And probably I would say that for the neck cream. If you currently use a neck cream, then absolutely keep using it. But once it runs out, maybe actually just see if you notice that, don't automatically repurchase it. And that can be with anything that you've got. Don't automatically repurchase it. Wait and see if you think, oh, I'm so missing that. I love that cream. Great. But instead of a neck cream, this is a really good thing to do. Put your face cream down to here and then put your body cream on top of it up to here. And that's giving your neck a double whammy. And the thing is, when you're doing your cleansing and you're exfoliating, get right down your neck. I'm going to talk about neck cleansing movements in a wee minute, actually. So good point there. So 4 basic products. If you then decide you need something a bit more heavy duty, then it's really good to go in, see your beauty therapist, your local beauty therapist, or come in and see me and have a consultation and find out what it is you're missing out on, or what are you using that actually maybe you just don't need. I'm a big fan of spending a wee bit more on less products and doing it really religiously. And in that way, you get the best out of every product that you're using. Right, cleansing. Right, ladies, are you ready to do this? Maybe guys too, if you're here. Have you got your coconut oil to hand? Any coconut oil? I don't care. I really like Lucy B. It's organic, and I quite like organic because it makes me feel good. So take a wee bit of your coconut oil on a teaspoon. It doesn't need to be crazy. In fact, that is way, way too much. Take a tiny amount, rub it in between your fingers. I have a little bowl of water here with some sponges. And this is how we're going to do our cleansing. This is how we're going to take our makeup off. Okay, we are going to put it all over our faces. Don't have that. I could use something else. Right, yes. Oh, hold on. I can't even click on this little comment. What is it? I don't have that. I can use. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, this is how we're going to do your cleansing. We're going to cleanse all the way up. Now, if you're concerned about your neck, we need to lift this up. Don't drag anything down. Gravity is dragging us down every day. Let's just lift every single thing up. And let's get right in there. All these wee bits, right in, get right round your nose, get right under us. With coconut oil, you can take it right, well, if you don't have coconut oil, use olive oil. I know you'll definitely have olive oil. The reason I use coconut oil is purely because it's very antibacterial. So see if you do suffer from any breakouts, actually it's incredible to be able to heal the skin. Also, it's moisturizing, but also it actually calms the skin down. So what you're going to do is we're going to do circular movements. We're going to go under the eyes and drag under. So when you go down, press down and then lightly drag back. Press down and lightly drag back so that you're doing lifting movements. We are going to be doing skin lifting every single day. We're going to be doing it in our cleanse every night. Lift that up. Now, when dentists talk to you about brushing your teeth, they always say, do a couple of minutes. It's the same with this. Get right in around the nose. And what I really want you to do is, I want you to very, very gently go right over and get your mascara off. Now, this is going to look messy and panda eye-ish. Mine looks a riot because I love mascara. So I've got mascara all over my face. Now, the good thing with this is that it's very, very nourishing for your lashes. So we can actually feed your lashes. And it takes your mascara off beautifully. So really what I want you to do is, when you were young, your mum used to say, get a face cloth and rub your face until it's bright red. Perfect. This is what we're going to do. We are just going to keep doing as many lifting movements. Get right in there and keep moving the skin. There's a lot of people that don't like moving their skin and touching their skin. And actually, it's a real shame, because when we do this, we are actually getting the oxygen going, we're getting the blood flowing, we're getting the nutrients flowing so that we are feeding our skin and we're making it really bright. I don't know about you girls, but I have been indoors now for almost 3 weeks. My skin is like, it needs brightened. We need to moisturize it and we need to get right in there. So big, big moves and just keep rubbing away at that skin. Now, you can have face cloths, sponges, it does not matter. And all you're going to do is just take off the excess oil. Now, it doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be, now, if you can move up the way and sponge it off or get your face cloth, that is perfect. So the longer you can do that every single day, you can see my mascara's off. And the good thing with these I've used little baby sponges. You know, remember those baby rammer ones that everybody had? I love them. They're super, super soft. And they just feel really, really nice. And I've got my wee face hand towel. And I just pat my face dry. It doesn't need to be, you don't want to wipe that excess oil. That oil is soaking into your skin and your skin is really thanking you for it. And it's actually just pink. It's nice and bright. And you doing that every single night, it's going to get all the oxygen going. It's going to get the nutrients going. It's going to perk your skin up. And it brightens your skin, so it stops that sort of dull, lackluster skin. Now, I already hear you saying, Shirley, I suffer from acne or I suffer from rosacea. Is coconut oil going to be okay? If you have acne, coconut oil is phenomenal because your surface, if you use foamy, drying skin cleansers, what happens is we're drying out the surface of your skin and the lower layers are telling the upper layers, it's a bit dry up here. You should produce more oil. And we get into this weird cycle of overproducing oil. So if we've got a bit of oil on the surface of the skin, it helps it rebalance, which is lovely. It's also antibacterial, so it stops any bacteria growing on the surface of the skin, which is fantastic. And it's also really nourishing. So if you did have any acne, you wouldn't put a moisturiser on after this. This is how you would leave your skin, and you would just head to your bed. If you're saying, my skin's really, really sensitive, I don't want to touch it, I'm really nervous, there's no junk in coconut oil, especially if you buy organic. And if you're moving your skin, oh, I have oily skin and acne, but actually it's still really nourishing and it's really healing. Right, okay. So if you have oily skin and acne, I recommend coconut oil, because if you need to rebalance your skin, and you also need your skin to heal. And the problem is, if you use very foamy cleansers, then you're constantly drying out the surface of the skin. So the lower levels are overproducing all this oil, and you end up just constantly having a really oily skin. So we're trying to rebalance your skin. So I've got a lot of clients who are like, Shirley, you have lost the plot. I am not putting oil on oily skin. Please believe me, this does work. But you need to leave it a good couple of weeks for this to actually rebalance. But the joy is of social distancing, you've got a couple of weeks. So if we're going to try and get this fixed, let's get it fixed right now. And if you want to contact me via my Facebook page, I can do a little skin consultation with you over like WhatsApp chat or Zoom or something, so we can easily do that. So if you've got millions of questions, don't panic. You can just get a wee one-to-one with me. Right, the next one is, I love coconut oil. Does it really manage breakouts? Yes, coconut oil is antibacterial. It's really healing and it calms skin down. Now, if you have older skin and you're saying to me, Shirley, I need something really, really anti-aging, coconut oil is also really nourishing, and you would put it on, and then you can always put other oils on top of it. So I'm a big fan of the oil cleansers, because they attract the oil molecules attract dirt really, really well. And if you're face clothing it off, it scoops it off. And essentially the face cloth is acting as an exfoliator. So we're getting rid of any surface dead skin cells. And when you go to put on your other products like your serums and your moisturizers, they can absolutely absorb into the skin, rather than sitting on the surface of the skin, just mincing about. Right, Rebecca, sorry, you asked me a question. Coconut oil, to be honest, just whatever you can get. I use Lucy B, but that's just because Morrison's sells it and I live beside Morrison's. It's for no other fancy reason. But there's loads of, I like an organic coconut oil because I do think they're slightly better. But if you can't get it, don't panic, just buy what you can get. So yeah, you can't go wrong with a really good cleanse and get right in there with the face cloth, scrub, scrub, scrub. If you have serious acne that is like whiteheads and really, really active, for a lack of a better word, be very gentle. Don't be as abrasive as I was talking about. Everybody else, scrub your face red, right? We want to get your skin nice and red and nice and worked. It's like a little workout for your face. If you do have acne, please use the face cloth once and put it straight in the wash. I do not want you putting a face cloth that's covered in bacteria. It's a breeding ground for bacteria. You use that the next day and suddenly you're like, my acne's got a lot worse from this. Yes, it will. Make sure every time you wash your face, if you've got acne, every face cloth goes straight into the wash. Whoever's doing the washing is going to thank you, but it will be absolutely worth it because your skin will look awesome. So I think the main thing is moving your skin and doing it regularly, because a lot of my clients will say to me, I don't wash my face in the morning, Shirley. Okay. The problem is, if you've been lying on your pillow, and everyone's got different skin types, but I feel quite warm in bed and you can be sweating. So what you don't want is you get up the next day and what you don't realise is your pillow was dirty, or you've been sweating and now you've got trapped sweat in your pores, or maybe you just left your makeup on, or you didn't take it all off, or whatever it is. Do a cleanse in the morning, even if it's just a wee once over, quick as you like, with a wee face cloth, or rinse it off. Just do it in the morning, because then at least we know your skin is clean, and it means when you put any of your products on, you're actually going to see real benefits from your products, rather than just trapping in sweat or dirt. And then you're going to go, that didn't work for me, Shirley. Right, okay, yeah. Can you get dirt off your pillow? Someone's asking me. Can you get dirt off your pillow or bacteria? Yeah, you can. You actually can. A lot of people find that actually that's probably the reason that they're not getting rid of their acne, is you really want to be able to either change your pillowcase, or I used to have terrible acne years ago and it used to run right along here. And I ended up putting a wee towel on my pillow and just changing that every night. So that's a good option as well. What was I going to say about cleansing in the morning again? Yeah, cleanse morning and night. In the morning, just do your really basic cleanse, whatever your serum is that you're going to fix your skin issue, depending on what that is. And then put your SPF on. And then at night, you're going to do your cleanse. And if you wear makeup, I would be tempted to do a double cleanse. 1, to take your makeup off, and 2, to really give your skin a right good scrub. It makes such a difference. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but you will see big results in doing a double cleanse. And we do it in salons, and we don't do it because we think this will be nice. We do it because we know it works. I love a double cleanse at night. I'm obsessed with cleansing. There's beauty ranges out there that are really just like, all they do, all their facials are extended cleanses. There is real proof that doing a really deep cleanse like I showed you, and it doesn't need to be anything fancy, and getting right in there actually improves the texture of your skin, the tonicity of your collagen and elastin, the smoothness of your skin, and just the brightness. And I think we're all feeling our skin's just a bit dull and lackluster. We can brighten your skin from doing loads of movements and get right in there. If you just think, do you know what, I actually just want to do a bit of anti-aging, I would just pat your face dry after it. And I would pop on an oil or a really good night cream. And if you've got something you like, great. And if you don't, I know the buzzwords are peptides and retinols. And everyone's going, oh, I don't know what a peptide is, and I don't know what a retinol is. A peptide, in short, is a stem cell, usually from apples, randomly. But the stem cells are really good at building up the chain links, so in your skin, to strengthen your skin. It's not taking anything away from your skin, it's building it up, which I really like. If you use a retinol is a really potent blend of exfoliant acids, and it is there to really smooth your skin out. It's a lot more potent in the sense that it really exfoliates your skin. So you would really want a bit of advice before you go down retinols. And there's retinols and there's retinols. So if you buy a cheap retinol, you can see your skin getting really aggravated. It would almost be like buying a Dyson or a Hoover. There is a difference. It's the same, but completely different. So if you are thinking about going down the route of really high end, or really sort of, you want really quick results, retinols are fantastic, but please touch base with me before you go and buy anything, because I don't want your face flaking off and you said, Shirley told me to use a retinol. So There will be probably loads of questions. If you've got any questions, flag them up now, because I'm very aware that I don't want to run out of time. And if there's anything you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure at the end of this, you know that you can follow me on Facebook, Bearsden Beauty. I have a Bearsden Beauty YouTube channel, which I am currently adding loads of content and little videos to. And if you just think, Shirley, my head is about to explode because that is just way too much information, then it means you can touch on to the YouTube channel, pick the topic that you want to find out some more information about. Every video is about 5 or 6 minutes long, and it means you can just rewatch it if you can be bothered or can put up with me. I've also got a lovely new podcast and a YouTube channel called Shirley Says, which is loads of really random chats. Some of it's beauty, some of it's just lifestyle, some of it is just bizarre. So you are more than welcome to follow the Facebook page for Shirley Says or Bearsden Beauty. I have an Instagram for both, and I also have the YouTube channels. And please, please, if you've got any questions, contact me direct, because I love talking about skin. I would talk about skin all day, every day. And if anybody would like to hear it, I would give you a little WhatsApp face chat, and we can do little skin consultations, and we can do one-to-ones. And that way you can ask me millions of questions that you might not want to put on this chat. So does anybody have any questions before we kind of flag up? Oh, I see one from Dana, and it says the daily routine after the SPF, you don't apply any other creams. Oh, good point. The mineral SPFs that I really like are also moisturizers. And that is the joy of maybe spending a tiny bit more money on something. So maybe it will cost you £40 instead of 20, but it will have a proper moisturizer in it. It will have a proper SPF in it, and it will also act as a really good makeup base, because mineral SPFs very randomly are actually also fantastic makeup bases. And I'm a makeup girl. I love skin, but I need to wear makeup. See this hair? It makes me look like a boy if I don't have my makeup on. So actually, I always wear a bit of makeup, and it's a great base for that. So yeah, definitely just use a proper one. Do I recommend a weekly exfoliation? Yes and no. If you are doing your face cloth every single day or twice a day, that's a really good daily exfoliant. If you have really, really dry skin, or if you have sort of dull, lackluster skin, yeah. If you have got acne skin, don't get carried away with exfoliating. And if you've got really sensitive rosacea type skin, do not be doing exfoliating. The little face cloth every single day will be more than adequate. You do not need to be using lots and lots of extra products. Do you need a primer on top of an SPF if applying makeup? If you're wearing a mineral grade SPF, it really is your primer. A primer is just another great thing to have to buy. It's like, oh, you should have a primer. You don't have to have a primer. And if you've got really, really, this is going to sound harsh, if you're a wee bit older and you've got very uneven skin texture, a primer is good. See if you're nice and young, don't be wearing a primer. You've got great skin when you're young, don't wear a primer. Wear it if you feel like your skin's like a raisin and you want it to look like a grape. That's a different story. But if you've already got a grape face, let's not be putting a primer on it. You don't really need it. So yeah, Can you recommend Dermalogica for age spots and dry old skin? Is there a cheaper alternative? It depends what you're using from Dermalogica. I'm actually Dermalogica trained. We used it in college and I really liked it. I don't use it now just because there's so many brands on the market. But pigmentation is the most difficult thing to fix, okay? Dry old skin, we can fix, okay? That is great. Retinols are great, and a retinol would be great for you, actually, for getting rid of the dryness. But if you are dealing with pigmentation, really you want a pigment blocking serum. Now, there's not many on the market. Image do one called Brightening Illuma Brightening Serum. And it actually blocks the production of pigment to the surface of the skin. And it means you really can't take a tan as well. And that is game changing if you've got really bad pigment. Because the problem with skin when it's about pigment is that when you're nice and young and you go on holiday, you come back from your holiday and your tan disappears in like 2 weeks and you're gutted. Now, that's because your skin is beautifully functioning at a really efficient level and your skin pigment just reduces again. Straight when you come back from holiday, you're like, oh, it's away. As we get older and our pigment becomes damaged, it rises to the surface of the skin. But because it becomes less efficient, it doesn't really fall back down as quickly. So we get this going, oh, it's great. I'm at a certain age now. I've had my tan for months. That's not great. It's because your skin is not as efficient. So the problem is, that's why we get age spots, because eventually that pigment will never go back down again. It just sits there. And that's when we get real problems. So actually, if you can use a pigment blocking serum, that would be your best bet. And just wear a tinted moisturiser. You don't need a real tan. There's some fantastic tinted moisturisers on the market and they make you look tanned. It's always good. Or use a self-tan. Dermalogica, there's tons of cheap products, but what I would say is you do get what you pay for. So if you're going to buy cheap, you're going to probably use the product a lot quicker. And the other thing is you're probably going to need lots of other products. So for me, I would prefer you bought Dermalogica or something at that price point and just use the things that you really, really need. Because that way, you know it works. But also, you're not using a million products and going, oh, I don't know what's worked here. So I would definitely recommend you do get what you pay for. Do you have a once a month routine? Do you know, I do like a little weekly facial. I call it a Friday night facial because I'm a sado and I stay in on a Friday night. And I literally do a double cleanse with the coconut oil. I do a really good wee facial exfoliator and I take that off. And then I do a face mask. Now, I like a sheet mask occasionally, or I use a retinol mask. Or some mask that you like, and then I like to take that off and I like to do a wee bit of oil, and I like to go to my bed with all my hair slicked back in oil and my face covered in oil. This is the joy of living alone. Nobody can see you, so it doesn't matter. And every Friday night, I look like an oil slick, but only the dog can tell, so she doesn't care. So yes, I would say do a weekly facial. I know that sounds a bit extreme, but actually I love a wee Friday night facial, and I'm going to put my Friday night facial routine on the YouTube channel for Bearsden Beauty. It's not on yet, but you will be able to see it, I think, by next week. So yeah, definitely click on and look at that. What do you recommend against puffiness under the eyes? Oh, that's a good question. I'm a fan of a rose quartz roller. They're super cheap. You can buy them online. You buy them on Amazon. You don't need an expensive one. Just buy the cheap one and put it in your fridge. And the joy of that is I have really puffy eyes and I've got quite sort of deep set eyes. So I'm kind of eye obsessed, and that's why I don't use eye cream. If you've got puffy eyes, stop eye cream. because if you look, you've got 3 little sacs under your eyes. And I saw an operation done years ago where they peeled that back, they scooped out the old eye cream, and then they peeled it back on, and they went, oh, now you've had an eye bag lift. And I thought, well, that's not really, that's just old eye cream. So please stop using eye cream if you've got puffy eyes. And if you insist on eye cream, only put it to the orbit of the eye, no closer, because this skin is so thin that it just sucks it up, and before you know it, your whole eye is puffed up. So stop using eye cream and get your rose quartz roller, just cheap as chips, and get it in the fridge. And then in the morning, there's a wee tiny side, and just roll it under your eye. And I have been told that is all I have time for. So ladies, if you've got any other questions, or you think of something in the middle of the night, because that's what happens to me, get onto Facebook, give me a little message and ask away, and I will more than happily chat skin. And I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm sorry that I just went blah, but there is way too many things to think about in this head. So join me and on Facebook or on Shirley Says or on YouTube, and hopefully I will catch up with you guys very, very shortly. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Shirley. Thank you so much. This has been really, really useful and interesting. I still have, a lot of questions. For everyone else, thank you for joining in. There are a few exciting sessions tomorrow as well. There's a mindfulness